Hi everybody, I think that many of you have tried this kind of Kinder Bueno bar. Let's open it up. We're gonna make the exact same one, just in a big size. But first you need to try it. On the outside we have chocolate, then a waffle layer with nut paste, and then the cream itself, which is also pretty nutty. The first thing we need is a big, huge mold. Our dad's gonna make it for us from this huge pipe. Using a tape measure, we measure out a meter of 20 and mark it with a marker. From the side, we drill a hole with a screwdriver and then cut the pipe with a jigsaw. Now we're going to draw along and cut the pipe into exactly 2 parts. Now we will make a stand out of wood. To do this, we cut a large board into 2 parts, circle the outer diameter of the pipe, and cut it with the jigsaw. With sandpaper, we knock down all of the burrs. 2 such details are needed. We need a wide board to put between them, and tighten everything with screws. Two large semicircles were also carved out of wood, and 3 smaller ones, but at the same time they were twice as wide. We put half of the pipe on the stand, lubricate a large semicircle with glue, and put it into the pipe. Additionally, we fix them with screws. We put the missing parts in, and our form is ready. But in order to be used, we take some small half circles and wrap them with some cling film. Done. Then we lubricate our mold with some oil. We're going to smear it along the walls. And then glue down some parchment paper. Then we put everything back in its place. Let's start our cooking with the nuts. There are 20 kilograms of them here. We transfer them into a meat grinder. And grind them through a small nozzle. Now we'll need a mélange, sugar, and cocoa. We collect 1 kilogram of crushed nuts, then turn on the mélange and pour them in. By the way, at first while the mass is dry, it can stop. Therefore, we'll help it out. Then add in some sugar and cocoa powder. After about 40 minutes, we'll get a chocolate nut paste. Let's tilt our mélange and put all of the paste into a pan. Thus, we turn 10 kilograms of nuts into the paste. Done. Now let's make our dough for the waffles. We break 48 eggs into a big gastro pan. Add 3 kilograms of sugar. For taste, we'll use some vanilla sugar. And then we go to the butter. Cut off 1.5 kilograms and put it into a saucepan. Also add 1 kilogram of margarine. Let's put all this onto the stove. Melt and pour into our big catering pan. Let's whisk our mix until it's smooth. we just need to pour in 3 kilograms of flour. And then finally knead the dough. Done. We scoop it up with a spoon and put it into our waffle iron. We close them. And after 3 minutes, they're ready. You can get them out. And then we open up our nut paste and spread a thick layer onto the waffle. Then we glue it inside of the mold. We worked with like a conveyor belt really, and while one was making waffles, 4 waffle irons at once, the second was putting them into a mold until it was completely filled. Now let's go to the cream. We open up some bottled chicken eggs and pour them into a bowl. There are 20 eggs in each bottle, and so we have 10 of them in total. Pour in 3 kilograms of flour and mix it all with a mixer until smooth. And then we made this thicker, and we will cook the cream in such a huge saucepan. We take a lot of milk out of the refrigerator. Open them up and pour them into a large saucepan. Then we put this under the burner, cover with the lid, and turn on the gas. As soon as the milk is heated, we add in 12 kilograms of sugar to it. And mix it all with a construction mixer. Without stopping stirring, pour in the thickener into a thin stream. You also need to melt 3 kilograms of butter. Pour this into the cream. And here are the remaining crushed nuts. Mix them into our cream. You gotta do this until it's smooth. It's already thickened up, so we pour it into our mold. We spread out the waffles with the remaining nut paste and put it on top of the cream. That's it, we send our mold into the freezer. Two days later, everything's hardened up. Therefore, we move on to the next step. We're gonna open up some milk chocolate and send it into a Marmite. Turn it on so that it starts to heat up, and stirring constantly, melt that chocolate. Now it's liquid, but to make it even better on the bar, you need to add some oil. And mix. It's much more liquidy now. Now it's time to get the mold out of the freezer. We transfer the liquid chocolate onto the waffles and smear it around. We keep doing this until we cover the entire surface with chocolate. Now let's put some more chocolate in the Marmite. We put a sheet of chipboard on top of the bar and press it as hard as possible with stretch film. First, we lower the form to the floor. And then we already turn it over into this little thing covered with film. Now the stretch film can be removed. Carefully lift up the mold. And tear off the parchment. And open up the film around that wooden semicircle. We screw a self-tapping screw into it and take it out. And then we remove the film itself. The extra milk chocolate pellets have already been melted. Therefore, we scoop milk chocolate with a measuring cup and just pour it all over our bar. We do one more layer. And then just let the chocolate harden. Now we just need to repeat only these thin strips of dark chocolate. Therefore, put a bowl on a steam bath, put some dark chocolate into it. And constantly stirring, melt it. Our already liquid chocolate is poured into a pastry bag. And we pour this over the bar. That's it, our giant Kinder Bueno is finally ready. I think it turned out just perfect, you guys. Well, let's cut off a piece.
Hey everybody, in the video we did with the huge bounty I asked, which candy bar do you want me to blow up next? Most chose Twix. Well, let's cook the most gigantic Twix. First, let's see what's inside it. We open it up. Cut it, and we see a layer of cookies, then caramel, and milk chocolate on the outside. Now let's go to the store. The first thing we need is condensed milk. More precisely, it is an unrealistically large amount of condensed milk. We need 215 cans. We also take a lot of powdered sugar, 6 boxes. We need 55 kilograms of flour, 3 boxes of margarine, 12 bottles of eggs, and there are 20 eggs in each bottle. And of course, milk chocolate. That's it. With 2 fully filled carts, we go to the checkout. Our purchase came out to $574. That's not very cheap, but we're preparing a huge Twix. First, let's prepare the cookies for our Twix. We take 16 packs of margarine in a large saucepan. We open the margarine. And dump it into the saucepan. We filled it to the top. Just put that on the stove and wait until all the margarine melts and becomes liquid. To knead a lot of dough, we take a huge basin like this. You need 30 kilograms of flour. We open the packages with scissors. And pour out all the flour. Take the melted margarine off the stove and pour it out. We take the boxes of powdered sugar, open them, and 1.5 boxes are sent into the basin. All we have left to do is add 120 eggs, or 6 bottles of eggs. To mix all this up well, we use an industrial standing mixer. The dough is very thick, and your hands get tired from holding the mixer, but nevertheless, everything's ready. The Twix sticks will be made in these iron forms. First, pour a little oil inside. Smear it around on the walls. And cover that with parchment. Done. We lower the forms to the floor. We put the dough directly into the mold with our hands. We line everything up. And we've already filled out one form. Now you need to repeat the same thing with the second one. Done. We put the forms of the dough in our huge oven. We close the doors and turn on the burners. Our cookies will be cooked all night at 190 degrees. We swapped the molds places during the night because the burners are cooking faster in spaces. As the same does in the morning, everything's ready. We put a sheet of plywood on top and turn it over. But then the worst thing happened. It turns out our cookies were not baked at all night. Of course, we were upset, but we did everything again. This time the cookies were baked all day and all night. Naturally, during such a long cooking time, the top was burnt. But it's not a problem. With the help of knives, we remove the upper burnt layer. Done. The cookies are cleaned. The open part on top will be the bottom of the Twix. We take a small part of the chocolate that we bought. We take 2 bowls and just crush the chocolates on the table. Open them and pour out the shards into a bowl. We continue this until they fill the bowl with a heap. We put all this into a steam bath. And when the chocolate began to melt and decrease in volume, we realized that this wouldn't be enough. We take another batch of chocolate and fill a bigger bowl with it. And we also send that to the steam bath. We bring the molds into the studio. The first batch of chocolate is already melted. Pour 2 bowls on top of the cookies. And we distribute the chocolate. Pour a large bowl of chocolate into the second mold. And we distribute that. After a very long time, the chocolate finally set. We put a sheet of plywood on top and turn over the cookies for Twix. We remove the stuck parchment. And this time the cookies turned out to be just awesome. With the help of putty, Dad smears the inner corners of the mold so that it becomes more rounded. Then we cover everything with parchment. We transfer them to the studio, and the next stage begins, the caramel for the Twix. For the caramel, powdered sugar is needed, and just an unreal amount of condensed milk. We open the packages, take out 5 cans, and open them. We will cook in 2 pans at once. We open 10 cans. Pour the condensed milk into the pans. Add a ladle of powdered sugar. And cook it all over medium heat until a brown caramel turns out. We send that into the mold. We will repeat this process a ridiculous number of times. We cooked the caramel, and the condensed milk burned down very slowly. In total, we cooked the caramel for 9 hours. We fill the caramel into the third of the molds. That should be enough. We line it up. Now the caramel has been in the freezer all night. We take it out, pull it out of the mold, and place it on top of the cookies. We remove all the stuck parchment from the caramel. Now we take all the chocolate that we bought, and even found dark chocolate after the last videos. We put a hefty saucepan on the table, and break all the chocolates right into it. Done. Now we take 3 smaller bowls and fill them with the chocolate pieces. We put them into a steam bath to melt. Done. The chocolate melted and became a liquid. Now let's pour this on top of the bar. We smear all this around the spatula so that the chocolate layer turns out to be even. We pour out all the melted chocolate. And fill the bowls with chocolate again. We melt it, and we try to fix all the blemishes on it. For the final filling, we add oil, and mix it well. Thanks to this, our chocolate will spread very beautifully and be glossy. Fill it in. Now we go around with a spatula, and with a spoon we make characteristic grooves on top. The second Twix stick is also covered. And we make our grooves. When the chocolate is set, our giant Twix is ready. It weighs 220 kilograms. It took 5 days to prepare it, and there are 1,078,000 calories in it. That's crazy how much. Let's finally cut into it. Yes, there's not enough chocolate, but nevertheless, it looks like a Twix. We try a piece. It's very tasty, and it really looks like a Twix. And if you want us to cook another huge bar, then give us those lights. This video needs to get 350,000 likes. Choose in the comments what we'll blow up next: Skittles, a Lion Bar, or nuts. But that's not all. I fought in a culinary battle against Dad. We cooked huge ostrich legs. So follow the link in the description and see who won. See you, everybody!